Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluta channel doing a paid review 21 QB65. This is for Kevin and he wanted two reviews. Firstly, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Rolex Submariner. This is the new 41mm date. I love it. Hi Arch, please do these two reviews in one video. I've sent you $100. I am sending this review in for two of my friends. I've attached the photos of both of their collections. The first friend is Tiffler. Tiffler has been building a steady collection of watches for about 2 years now. He has the Grand Seiko GMT and the Rolex Datejust. He bought the Rolex the day after we told him how cool watches are, and he has been hooked ever since. Tiffler likes to buy his wife Louis Vuitton bags and all sorts of jewelry. Tiffler is such a baller that he bought a $3,000 calendar because he don't play. Tiffler is a baller because he bought a $3,000 calendar because he don't play. What would you recommend as his next piece? He really likes Breguet and Arnold & Son, the moon phase complications. Also, please tell him to get rid of the shitters you see in the photo. So, firstly, for Tiffler, I gotta say, Tiffler, I actually really like the watch that is in your this Grand Seiko GMT. I got to tell you, in all honesty, I think it is absolutely beautiful. It's very retro, very 1960s, late 60s sort of watch. I think it's actually pretty beautiful. I have experimented with Grand Seiko myself. I actually would. This is one of the watches I really love. I think these are really cool. I think they're really cool. And I'd like to get one. I would like to get one. I don't have any problem with that Grand Seiko. The Rolex Datejust, it looks like it's a no holds case, so later 90s. I think it's sapphire. It's like a 16220 because I actually had one. Yeah, it's a cool watch. I prefer it with the white gold bezel because I find the steel engine turned bezel a little bit cold, but it's not a disaster. It's not a disaster. Some of the shiters, I've got to tell you this, I can't really make out much stuff there. But look, I got to be completely honest with you. There's seems to be some garbage there. I think, you know what, Tiffler. I don't think it's wrong to buy your wife some beautiful things. You know, if you are getting sex every night, or at least 3 to 4 times a week, I understand this dedication. If the service is good, I don't mind paying the price. So I get it. I get it. You're a happy man. You want to make her happy. What I would say, I think that's quite an admirable thing. You like the female form. I got to say myself, I have similar. I at the end of the day, I like to be a bit of a pleaser myself. And I've got to be honest with you. I think that's quite an honourable thing. I think as long as you're happy there, just don't let the service delivery levels go down, because that's kind of what I would say there. Yeah, that's kind of what I would say. I would kind of say that. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would say that. So, my advice to you, Tiffler, you got the Grand Seiko, you got the Datejust. I got to be honest with you, Breguet, now Arnold and Son, I'd stay away from that. Stay away from that. Breguet, look, if I were you, I reckon maybe just stop for the moment, okay? You're a nice guy. You've got two nice watches, the Seiko Grand. Okay, I just take stock of how you're doing that. I got a suspicion you're trying desperately to get watches. Remember, it's quality over quantity. I would say to you, slow down, slow down, and let's just do a bit of a diagnostic. We've got to look at ourselves and say, have we got rid of credit card debt? Have we got a bit of an emergency fund? Have we? Because if we haven't, I'd be fixing that up. You got two nice watches, a Datejust and a Grand Seiko, beautiful. The Breguet, totally honest with you, the Breguet, beautiful watches. You want to buy that stuff secondhand. You don't want to buy Breguet new. I would say to you personally, stick with Rolex. I would probably say, if I was in your shoes, with the hindsight and foresight that I have, I would be saying, I'm not going to buy anything. I want to get a Rolex Submariner. Get a Submariner. Get a Submariner date. That is what I think you need to get. Stop doing what you're doing. Get rid of the garbage. You've got some really garbagey watches there. I can't quite make them out what you got, but they seem like garbage. Get yourself a Rolex Submariner. That's what I would do. Get a Submariner. I would get one of these, man. That's what you do. I think for you, you're a nice guy. You like to entertain the wife. You like to have fun. That's all admirable. But I would probably get one really good Steel Sports Rolex. I reckon the sub date is what you should go for. Submariner date. And I would make sure you got your credit cards paid off, make sure you got a bit of an emergency fund, and I'd start saving for a Rolex sub date. Forget buying a Breguet. Breguet, you're never going to get your money back. Arnold and Son, my God, does actually somebody want one? I know a dealer, actually Cove at Luxuria. He had an Arnold and Son since the day he opened. I think he's still got the bloody thing. You got to get it cheap. Nobody wants that. It's toxic. It's toxic. Okay, it's just toxic. Great watch, beautiful craftsmanship, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nobody wants these bloody independents. Nobody wants these bloody independents. Now, let's move on to the next guy, Stevie. The next friend is Steve. Steve has an interesting story. He has 2 to 3 Omegas in the past, along with 2 Rolexes. He used to wear his two-tone Datejust on the boat and do cocaine with his friends. His crazy friend would save cocaine that Steve gave to him so that he could bring it home and do it there. His dream watch was a yellow gold President, but he has a problem. After owning all these previous watches, he now only has 3 Shitta Seikos and 3 Shitta Casio. He trades the watch with like a crackhead and always is on the losing side of the trade. We are worried about him because he keeps buying Dogecoin and cocaine. He is addicted to a certain sexual thing with women, we think, but we would still be our friends if he was gay. Nothing wrong. I love gay men. We love gay men. I love gay men. I love gay men. We need your help to convince him to stop buying shite, instead buy himself a nice piece that can hold on to for longer than a week. Please advise him what he needs to start with and maybe a small roadmap of where to go next. Yes, and he has got a lot of garbage. It is just garbage. It's absolute garbage. And I got to be totally honest with you, man. If you're dealing with a cocaine, see, I've never actually gone onto the wild side because I've always been scared of not being able to say no. That's the big thing, not being able to say no. And I mean, cocaine, I got to be honest with you, having never tried it, I'm aware people don't start out to be addicts, but the stuff is so amazing they can't say no. So in my case, don't start. But in your case there, what can I say, man? This is kind of sad. I don't know if it's the friends are joking with you a bit, but I got to be totally honest with you. Unfortunately, cocaine is not a drug you want to treat like a party snack. It's very, very powerful drug. It's very expensive. See, it's not so much the cocaine that does bad things to your body, although you can have a heart attack from this shit, but the problem is it's the garbage they mix with it. The unscrupulous dealer mixes with it to get a bit more spread, because the dealers themselves, they all seem to be how do you put it? They're users and dealers, and so they get this a bit, then they steal a bit, put a bit of other shit in to mix. This is what happens with this stuff. And that garbage, you don't know what the hell the garbage is. What can I say? I gotta be honest with you. If you have a serious problem there, man, it is very tough to get out of. Addictions are, AA, the addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling. It's all, these things all go intertwined because life can be pretty damn boring at times. It can be uneventful, and these drugs can give us the feelings of euphoria. Unfortunately, they come at a huge cost, and if you don't have the means to be able to pay for this sort of shite, you often end up doing things that you normally would never ever contemplate doing, and this is where the problem starts. So I gotta be totally honest with you, I don't think this is something you should really be playing or joking with there. I mean, these are very addictive type of hobbies to have, and your friends, they kind of see the funny side, but in 5 years' time, what's going to happen? And it destroys careers and yada, yada, yada. So my advice to you really is I'm sorry to say, I think you've got to try and get out of these addictions. I mean, it's funny, I'm not going to name anyone, but I know a watch dealer, and I said to him, hey, man, he was making good money. And I said, what happened to your money? He said, I had a cocaine addiction. It basically took all the profit. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. You've got nothing to show for it. And look, I'm not going to tell you, I'm not here to preach to you and convert you. It doesn't work like that. I certainly would charge a lot more than $50. But I got to tell you, in your case there, man, you've got to look at, why do you feel the urge to do drugs? Is your life that bad? You've got to really make some changes, because the reality is it never ends well. It never, ever ends well. It becomes worse and worse and worse. And then you've got the illegality, the police, because you're dealing in illegal things. You haven't got consumer protections. You can't exactly ring up the cops and say, I got cheated. Doesn't quite work like that in the illegal world, see? So my honest advice for you, my honest advice to you, my advice is to try and get peace. You've got to have peace. You've got to be content. Content. Wristwatches, you know, do we really need one? Not really. This is all sort of secondary crap. None of this shit is really that special or important. And I gotta be honest with you. It's sad. You had some nice watches. Now you got nothing, man. I'm not here to preach to you on watches. My best advice is just one and done. But you've got to get rid of this addiction first, man. Seriously. I tell you what, if you could put the money away that drugs cost, Coke is so expensive. You've got to, I mean, I'm not even going to go into the watch collecting phase there. You've got to really, got to sort out this Coke problem. It's not a good way to be, man. I mean, it's a joke. It's funny. Yeah, okay, I get it. But, man, you've got to sort this out and make some positive. I mean, it's just such a shame to waste your life and have nothing to show for it. But, yeah, my advice to you would just be to clean up the addiction. Don't even worry about watches. Watches is something to have once you've sorted out. I mean, you can use it as a goal or a target, whatever you want to do. But my advice to you would be to get a one and done. Just a one and done watch. You know what? I think the perfect watch for you, you've had an interesting life, you've done all the stuff, I'd get a Rolex Submariner date. That's what I'd get. I reckon that is the quintessential. That's what I'd get. 40 mil, 41, doesn't matter. Just get a Rolex, steel Rolex Sports. Date, no date, who cares? 40 mil or 41, who cares? You could even go pre-ceramic. That's what I'd do. Get a Rolex Submariner for yourself. And I really hope you can get off this shit. The problem is with all this drugs, I mean, it starts off as a bit of a joke. When it becomes, it starts to control your life. And that's the problem. That's the problem. It's kind of, I really feel for you, because if you don't get out of it, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster. And I got to tell you, my advice to you be one and done. Get a Rolex Submariner. That's it. One and done. One and done. One and done. And man, I got to tell you there, that's seriously what I do. Nothing wrong if you're gay. Gay, hey, nothing wrong with that. But try and see if you can get out of this addiction phase there. The 10-step program. That's a great way to start. 10-step program. Join AA, or that's a group. AA's for alcohol, but they've got drug groups like that. I think the 12-step, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's never easy. Some days are harder than others, but you got to start. because it's such a waste to have nothing in your life. My advice, one and done. Get a Rolex sub. Okay, guys, that's the 2 reviews there. 2 friends, 2 reviews for 2 friends. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, that's my advice. Tell me what you think, guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Remember, I can't survive on Google Ads. I need more paid reviews. I'll catch you in the next one. Guys, paid reviews, $50 US. I'll give you the advice. Good, bad, the ugly. Any topic, anything. Mainly watch reviews, but I'll give anything a bit of a poke. $50. I'll make some vids, and we'll have a good time. Okay, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget, too, you can sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon lets you pay as little as $1 a month, and it keeps me full-time on YouTube. Hey guys, check out one of my best friends, Jamie Opulence, on YouTube. Just go to Jamie Opulence on YouTube. A fantastic channel from my good friend Jamie. Check it out, guys. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to introduce a new service to you. ValueYourWatch.com. Proud supporters of ArchieLuxury. No seller's fees, no buyer's fees. That's right, guys. This is a trading platform to buy or sell watches. You can start selling for free. That's right. We advertise our paying for our paying subscribers on Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's a global platform. That's right, guys. Get $50 off the annual subscription by applying the coupon Archie when you check in there. But guys, you can try this for free straight away. Guys, you can start listing watches. ValueYourWatch.com. Give it a try and tell me what you guys think of that.
Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 US for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 US paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.